encouragement, and I know where to get it. Let's rise with the set. Come on, come on, rise. Let's go higher, higher, higher. Rise with the set. Rise with the set. And how you doing, everybody? Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you caught me. You caught me behind the curtain. Okay. Happy 2025. Happy 2025, y'all. You know what? It's going to be a wonderful day and it's going to be a absolutely wonderful week and we're going to have a great show in the midst of it all. You know what? It is so good to be here today. I mean, it's been like, I feel like I haven't been up here since ages. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Keone in the background. Keone's there. I'm my co host. And we have a great guest for you this morning. We have Johnny Noel. You know, we're excited about that. He is a farmer. So go ahead on and tell your homies and your girlfriends, you know, and your besties, you know, tell them to come on and join on to the show. Send them the link to the show, share with them. Hi, everybody out there. And I'm just glad to be here this morning. I'm excited to be here in the midst of it all. And you know what? Just because I'm joyous this morning does not mean that everything is all well and blooming. It means that in spite of it all, I'm determined that I'm going to have joy. All right. We got to have joy anyway. And I also want to say this. We got to keep the people and all the victims of the California fires. You know what? Keep them in prayer. That's difficult to go through something like that. Your house burning down, all your belongings gone. We got to keep them encouraged and keep them in prayer because we never know when we're going to need it. You know what? I heard somebody say this as a matter of fact, I heard Rocky say this. I was looking at Rocky the other day and I thought it was so cool. One of his old movies, and in the movie he said nobody is going to hit or nothing is going to hit as hard as life. He said, but it's not uh, how hard you're hit, but it's uh, um, how you able to get hit and keep on moving forward. So you can get hit sometimes, but we got to know how to keep moving forward, how you bounce back. And so, just like the song I sing, after the storm, the sun is going to shine again. And I'm just simply saying that, hey, it's going to be rough sometimes, but you know what? We got to keep on moving. And I do believe when you put your trust in God, it's going to get better. That's what I believe. You know what? And you know what? You know what? So it's really interesting this morning. I'm just excited about this new year, and I know everybody wants to got all these new year resolutions and stuff that we want to do. I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do better, I'm going to get a better job and all this, that, and other. But I want to eat better. I don't know about y'all, but I really, really want to eat better. I know that I remember one time I said, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And a lot of times I don't even follow through with what I had planned on doing. But I really want to eat better. And that's what this show is all about this morning. For all of you out there that really are determined to do better and to eat better and to improve your health, that's something that we must do, is improve our health. You know what? Hey, I'm digging my glasses from my eye doctors this morning. I really love these glasses. But you know what? I'm just excited. I'm just excited about life. And every day that we live, we should be excited about life, excited about living, because there's so many people that are not here today. They have gone on and they're not living. And a lot of times we can have better health and a better outcome as far as our life is concerned if we eat better. You know that? Because I think about in my early years how I just ate whatever I wanted to. I can't do that now. I have got to eat better.
Yes.
Hi, hi. We have Johnny and we have my co-host Keone here.
Ha-
Oh,
Can you hear him, Lissette?
Yes, I can hear him.
Okay. All right. We have some technical issues, so he'll be on camera, but we're using the phone for him to call in. So I wanted to make sure you can hear him first. Let's go ahead and
I
get
can
him on in
hear him.
here.
You know what? Hi, Keone. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Well, great. Did you have a great, New Year coming in? You doing good, pretty good so far. Everything's all right.
I did, but I don't want you to talk to me. I want you to talk to Johnny.
For all the great things that you're doing, all the cast, y'all do an amazing job every show. I love you and I thank you. And Johnny, so let's welcome on our show, Johnny Noel.
How you doing, Johnny? Lisette, if you could see her, you couldn't hear her because she does this thing where she moves her hair all around like a crazy person. Then her audio goes out. We have to wait for it to come back in.
Howdy,
I
since
don't
you
know how you deal
insisted.
with it, Johnny. I don't know how you deal with it.
It is so good to have you on the show, Johnny, and I'm so excited to learn more about what you do. Johnny is a farmer, and that just excites me because when I think of farm, I think like farm in the Dale, farm in the Dale. I think like with the hat and riding on the tractor and stuff like that. But you explain to us first. I want you to tell us something about yourself, Johnny. So where are you at this time? Where are you calling from? I know that was traumatic. No, I'm just messing. I'm just joking. Go ahead. Keep going. So you saying that you had a garden? You actually had a garden in New Jersey? Okay. Okay. It makes a lot of sense to me.
I wasn't 100% there yet because I was doing things in my life that it really didn't jive with healthy eating and stuff like that. Sometimes, people say sometimes that you have to cross all your T's and dot all your I's before you do something. No. When, when, when that feeling or when that spirit hits you, don't wait until you got everything together.
That's
Follow
true.
that. Make sense?
Yes, it makes
Yeah,
a lot of sense.
follow that feeling. Because even though I was telling people about healthy eating and stuff like that, I was a smoker. You
Okay.
know, and what I did was I tried not to smoke around the people that I was talking about healthy eating because that would contradict what I was saying.
Right.
People pay attention to you, and if they see you doing something negative, how could you tell them something positive?
That's a
Make
very true
sense?
statement.
Yeah. So God took that away from me. He took the cigarettes away from me, and I have to say it was God because if there's a negative in your life, no matter where it comes from, nobody made you do it. You, you do it because you wanted to do it. So therefore, it was something that you enjoy doing. Now it's hard to give up things that you enjoy doing, such as eating unhealthy food. Right? Make sense? I
It
would
makes a lot of
like
sense. I mean, it was hard for me to give up some stuff that I had to give up. I don't eat meats like I should, like I used to, not like necessarily like I should, but I don't eat meats like that. I just don't. I'm not into it. I saw this show on Dr. Pimple Popper. And this woman, you ever seen Dr. Pimple Popper?
no, I have not.
Well, all I can say is she's a doctor that specializes in popping bumps, and she popped this big bump on someone, and all this stuff came running out, and then she said, "This looks like chicken, or this looks like cottage cheese." I'm saying,
Okay,
I don't want any more.
so this is what we ain't gonna do, Lissette. All right, we don't have vegans on here. We don't have vegetarians on here. What we're not gonna do is we'll talk about the bad effects of meat, but what we ain't gonna do is we ain't gonna bastardize meat, Lissette. That's what we not
You
gonna do.
you said
Because
someone
as I agree, as I'm
me.
46 now, I don't eat as much red meat as I used to. Like I used to eat giant steaks all the time and a lot of, but every now and then I'm gonna have me a hamburger. Every now and then I'm gonna have me a steak, and I ain't giving up chicken. And the one thing that you're never gonna give me to give up is when I make my scrambled eggs, I'm gonna have me some doggone bacon.
I
Okay.
know.
And I went to the doctor yesterday. November, I weighed 243 pounds. I went into the doctor last week. I weighed 216, and he said my body reads like a 28-year-old. So you ain't gonna
Go
take it.
ahead.
I think the important thing is that if you're not gonna give up that stuff, you just like with anything, you have to learn moderation and not to overindulge and stuff. And I think that's the problem that people have. I used to be a personal trainer, and I had this one lady, and I couldn't figure it out for 4 months. She's the first person I had. She couldn't lose weight. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Oh, I just eat salads 3 times a day." And I'm like, "Ma'am, that's not how this works." but but I love the healthy eating that I was reading your bio, Johnny, and I always tell people don't go on a diet. Diets are temporary. Let's do some life changes. So my life change was I'm not going to have red meat every day of the week. I knew I wasn't going to stop, but it's not going to be a daily occurrence. And right now, I do meal plans. Shout out to Chef Lex. I do meal plans with Chef Lex every week, and she delivers me 10 meals and 5 snacks, home cooked, good stuff. Even though it has meat, just really really good stuff in there. And of course, the better eating is always going to make you feel better.
Of course. You're absolutely right. And I agree with you. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. You know, what you do in moderation, I don't think will kill you. But I also believe when you know better, you do better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if we look at the if we look at where we come from, and you know what, I don't even want to go there where we came from. When we look at science of doing things, it tells you right there, you know, what's good and what's not good. When we pay attention to what's going on in the world, like today they're making meat in laboratories. You know, when they tell you that they're making meat in laboratories, 9 times out of 10 you already ate some.
Ew.
It's been out for a while. We're the last ones to know, you know, and the first ones that are going to feel the effect of whatever they do. You know, this is the world.
That's why I love what you're doing because um, I love farmers markets because even when it comes to we've seen documentaries now that some of these organic places are doing the same thing. They're saying it's organic, it was grown in a garden, and we're finding out that it wasn't. And the problem is, and people can blame the government, they can blame it, but the problem is us. We overconsume so much that there's no rate to keep up producing all this food. Think about it. I can drive in a 5 mile radius from my house. There's three Harris Teeters. There's four Food Lions within a 4 mile blocks. There's two Publixes, and there's three Lowe's grocery stores plus the fast food chain. That's a lot of food, and the shelves are stocked. The amount of food we throw away and that is not eaten is
Yes.
insane.
This is America. It's supposed to be the land. This is the milk and honey place.
Uh-huh.
And those are the two things that the prices are going up on, milk and honey.
Yeah.
You know, when you see the honey stocked on the shelf, you look at it and you keep on walking because the price is ridiculous.
A bottle of milk and a jar of honey will cost you less than me, you, and Lessette going to Wendy's and getting a 4 for $4 or $5, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
So when you have people who don't have a lot of money, people say, well, go to the grocery store. But if I have three kids, I could feed them at Wendy's cheaper than I can get eggs, a gallon of milk, and a jar of honey.
that's so. Now that is the truth about that. Because honey can be like $10, just a little jar. At least that
Small
pure
jar,
honey.
right? Small jar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, so Kiani, like you said, you can go to Wendy's or Burger King and get that Happy Meal,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not thinking about what it does to you in the long run.
Yep.
There's been an accidental experiment done on the, and I'm not even going to say what food chain it was, but there was a burger left in somebody's coat pocket that they forgot to eat, and it was a winter coat. And the next winter, when they went to put that coat on,
That's funny.
and there was nothing wrong with it. So what do that say?
I still wouldn't have ate that, but I get what you say.
Uh-uh.
Well, I mean,
There
you.
was nothing wrong with it. Something
That's
that has to
crazy.
eat.
Mhm.
Now, listen, I'm a bachelor. I've been by myself. I clean my refrigerator periodically. But a tomato got lost in my refrigerator. Now, in the back of my mind, I knew it was another tomato here. Now, I found that tomato like maybe 2 months later. There was nothing wrong with it. I threw it away, of course. I know it's been there long enough to expire. It should have been a red piece of mush in my refrigerator, but it was a whole firm tomato that I know been there for 2 months. Something wrong with that picture.
I don't
Something.
think I want to eat that. Mm.
I think the problem that a lot of people don't understand, especially when they try to educate some of us, is like, I know that the Krispy Kreme donut ain't great, but it's so good. you know, hot out the oven. I'll eat that whole box until I get sick. We know, for instance, I have a weakness for this can of Coca Cola, an ice cold can of Coca Cola. And we all know the dangers of drinking Coca Cola. You
Wow.
know, I
That's
clean my
right.
bathroom toilet with the Coca Cola.
That's right. You can use that to clean your bathroom.
Yeah, in the army, we cleaned our corroded car batteries with
That's right.
Coca Cola. But it's that. Oh, but it's so good. So
Isn't it?
learning how to make, and this is why I like today more than when I grew up. Even though you guys are older than me, you can attest to this. When and I'll say we were growing up, even though you're older than me, healthy food always tastes bad.
It can
Healthy
be.
food always tastes bad. And the thing that we've learned over time is how to make healthy food taste good without making it bad. Because I used to love going into Subway and watch a guy go in there and say, I'm eating Subway, I'm gonna be healthy. They get them a cold cut, and then when they get to the end of the line, they say extra mayo, Southwest sauce, Chipotle sauce, and ranch. I'm like, you just defeated the whole purpose of you
Exactly.
eating Subway.
That's true.
You know,
I like to eat
you
my
want to
salads
taste
with
it.
nothing on it. I like to eat my salads with nothing on, no
Okay, that's
dressing.
just weird. Go ahead, Johnny.
I never.
You can do that, that's good. But when it comes down to healthy eating, if you don't make it to where you're gonna like it, you're not gonna eat it. I don't care what it is. If it's not good to you, you're not gonna eat it. You know, and this is what makes sugar yummy, like you said, those Krispy Kreme donuts. You know, sometimes I stand at the store and I stare and I be reminiscing. Oh, I remember what that used to taste like. And I know it's good, but thank God that I can just walk away from that because I understand addictive behavior. You know, even now, I try to, and I say again, I try to do my best to eat health, but I have a binge sometimes. I had bought a bag of ginger snaps.
Whew.
And I started eating those ginger snaps like that was the last bag on earth. You know, like tomorrow is gonna be my demise, so I'm gonna eat every last one of them now with some milk. You know, trying to bring that euphoria back to my, it's the behavior. This is what sugar do to you. When you eat sugar, your body craves for more sugar.
You know what? I remember when my body was craving some Bojangles fried chicken.
Oh my God.
I love fried chicken to this day. I still love it. I would for 30 days I went to Bojangles and got the biggest breast I could find, and I wanted the skin from the breast. That's what I wanted. I
Yeah.
didn't want the chicken. I want the skin, the crunchy skin, the juicy, crunchy, hard skin is what I wanted. And I did it for 30 days. I blew up like I don't know what. And I got to feeling all bad and stuff. And I'm saying, like, not to mention that was money, depleting out of my fund just to go to Bojangles. I love Bojangles. Bojangles. I hope
Okay.
you hear that.
I don't
You
know
know,
how you. Yeah, well, it's a
but
North Carolina thing.
I had to stop it.
Yeah, you should because that's terrible. I know the one thing for those who find it hard to stop eating like that and they can't change. What happened to me was if you're gonna eat stuff like that, find a better way of eating it. And I'm not saying it's perfect. For instance, fried chicken. I no longer go to KFC, Bojangles, Popeyes. I'm gonna want fried chicken. So if you live in North Carolina, the two places to get fried chicken that are the best are Publix and Lowe's grocery store. Is it extremely healthy? No, but it's a lot better alternative. Anything you change helps. Um,
That's true.
I lost 1 month. I had to travel the entire month, and I ate out the entire month, and I still lost. I lost 6 pounds and 9% body fat. Now, how is that possible? I wasn't eating great, But it was that little change that I just said. Instead of going to McDonald's to get a hamburger, I went to a restaurant. Instead of going to Pizza Hut to get pizza, I went to a restaurant. Is that still better than eating at home and cooking? No, but that little difference made the world. So just
A
imagine if I
little
ate
change.
healthier that whole month. It would have been even better.
That's awesome.
We have to take tiny steps. You
Mhm.
know, we all know that we need to eat better. But you just can't jump into the race and just go cold turkey on a lot of stuff that you that you grew up eating. It don't work. Because when you go back to it, you're going to eat even more than you
Yeah.
did before.
Yeah.
Um, when we let me tell you something about myself. When I was a smoker, mind you, knowing that it was no good for me, the commercials would come on TV. Every time I turn the channel, there's a commercial, and you got the lady with the truck in her throat, and they showing pictures of all of these people that this happened to, that happened to, behind smoking. You know what I would do? Turn the channel or turn the TV on. You know why? I know they were right. I didn't want to hear it. I wasn't ready. You know, so it's not until we get ourselves ready to change that change will come. We can talk about it all day long, but if you're not ready to change, it won't come. When you want to do something specific in your life, um, and you're a social person like myself, you have to be around like-minded people. People who have some of the same goals that you have, or because if they don't, you're going to hear things that don't jive with your way of thinking. And if you hang around us long enough, you'll start smelling like it. Make sense?
This is so good. You know what? I see, see Clarence say he likes ice cream and cookies, but he had to make a change because he became a diabetic. So I would like to say you do have a garden, don't you, farm
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
Then talk to us about your garden. What's going on with your garden?
definitely. Let me tell you where I'm at now. Right now, I don't really have much growing in my garden right now. I could have had things like brassicas, like um, salad, broccoli, spinach. And it's still not too late to do that. I just have so many other things that I have to do right now. Because every season of the year, there's something else you can plant. You know, so I grow stuff like I think I sent you guys pictures of like beets and squash and cucumbers and watermelons and cantaloupes. I got fruit trees in the backyard. And this, I'm not bragging about any of this. I thank God. I thank God for changing my mindset to want to be able to do that. And this is where I am with my garden. I want to teach people what I know. I want to teach people how to create that garden that may keep you out of some of the grocery stores and eating some of the things that's not good for us. Fresh food from your garden tastes a lot better than what you see in the supermarket. A lot of stuff, is coated with chemicals. There's a chemicals I put a little note here for myself called BHA. BHA. Now that chemical, if you ever go to the store and you see these beautiful, juicy, shiny red apples, or these cucumbers that look so, they look artificial, they're shining so much. That's wax.
Wow.
Now, they don't come with instructions on how to get the wax off. So what happens? People eat it. harm to your body, we don't know until we get a recall. You know, we and that's true. We don't know. It's not natural that he come off the tree shining like that. As a matter of fact, when my apple tree first started producing apples, I was like, these are the dullest looking apples I ever saw in my life. You know, but they were very, very good. You know, so we look at things, and everything is about making money. So if I can make something look tantalizing to you, the chances on you buying it is great.
You are correct. That's why that hamburger on the screen looked 10 times bigger than the one you get in the bag. Clarence said my thing was ice cream and cookies. Can you say diabetic? I hear that, Clarence. I told my doctor he better do all he can because I'm never giving up my cookies and cream ice cream. So he better make sure I can stay as healthy as I want. Um,
Let me tell you, Keone,
yeah.
you'll give it up
Huh?
because you'll give it up because diabetes ain't no joke.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm staying away from that, so I don't get it. That's why I had to learn moderation because at the rate I was going 5 years ago, I would have been diabetic by now. But I had to slow it on. I had to slow it on down. We're gonna do a trivia with you, Johnny. We're gonna do a farmers trivia here
Okay.
because a lot of people get these things confused. And so the answer is fruit or vegetable. Fruit or vegetable, okay? A lot of people get this confused.
Okay, let me tell you about, we kind of need both of them. You know, matter of fact, it would be a better world if that's all we ate. Um, I'm going to say, our DNA, um, and they say fruit is bad because fruit is full of sugar.
No, fruit's not bad.
It's not.
No, fruit's not bad. Fruit's like everything else. You eat too much of it, that's when you can have problems.
Well, that's well, I think too much of anything would
Yeah,
cause a
that's what I'm
problem.
saying. I'm not saying if you eat a lot of fruit, but you can't eat, a bag of oranges a day. You're going to run into some problems.
But the amazing thing is to change it up. You don't just eat the oranges. You eat the oranges, the apples, the pears, plums, and definitely the berries, the strawberries, the blackberries, the raspberries. These are the healthy. Listen, these are the healthiest things that your body can eat. Now, if you can eat that without putting extra sweetness into it, even honey, you don't need honey or a blueberry or blackberry or something like that. You don't need to add nothing to that. If we was to eat that, well, I'm also talking to myself because I can do better with some of the things that I do. Now, when we add the fruit, now fruit is going to have carbohydrates in it. So is vegetables. It's going to have carbohydrates in it. So it's almost like your body has to do an adjustment. Like your body going to tell you, well, he's no longer doing this. No, because your sugar is going to spike. He's no longer doing this, but your body would adjust to change that sugar into something usable, and it would not allow you to get diabetes or something like that. This is our makeup. This is where the region that we come from. We ate from the trees. Even the Bible tells you what to eat, and then we just came up with we're gonna do what we want.
That's why I like this time because there's other ways to get this to happen. Because about 20 years ago, when I went on my no meats journey for about 3 years when I was working out, the thing that I noticed that I had more energy, but my strength was waning. I wasn't getting the and yeah, the endurance out of my muscles that I wanted, and I felt so much better when I ate. So I mean, it's also 20. This is how fast food gets dirty. 20 years ago, if I had a steak, it didn't feel like when I have a steak now.
It's a different state.
It's a different steak. And then you have to realize I'm also 20 years older. Metabolism is working different. You know, the bad stuff stays with you a little longer. So it's learning, like you were saying, that taking the steps, learning for those who can't give up those things cold turkey like that, learning how to make it better. I learned what not to put in that food that I was put. We all grew up loving soul food, right?
Sure.
I had this young lady when I was in the.
Whole brains.
She had my yams, and I made a dinner. She had my yams, and she goes, "Oh my God, how did you make these yams? Tell me how you made it. I'm gonna eat them every day." I said, "Young," she goes, "My mom doesn't make them nowhere near as good as this." I said, "Well, I don't look like your mom. That's one reason why they're better. Uh, Number two, young lady, if you eat these yams that I made every day, you're gonna die at the end of the month." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because I got 100 pounds of butter, 100 pounds of sugar, 100 pounds of brown sugar, cinnamon."
For
I
sure.
Yes. She was like, "What?" I said, "Yes." So I said, "We don't eat this every day. This is like a Sunday thing for us. I don't know why you think we eat like this every day. We'd
Can't
all be
eat that
dead."
stuff every day. Remember when we used to eat whole brains and chitlins
I'm
and
not that old, Lissette. No.
oh, that's right.
And I'm
But
not that country.
I,
Well, that's not even an age thing. I'm not that country.
I never ate whole brains. My mom used to scramble eggs and that stuff. And I'm saying, like, please, I can't stand eat a brain, a brain. I don't want it. I can't eat a brain. I don't want a brain.
Johnny, you hear this? She can't have the brain, but she'll go have some Bojangles.
Yes, Lord, and skins. Oh, I love skins.
It's a learning experience. It's a learning. I have to look at things like this. I got to be realistic with myself and ask myself certain things. Do I love God? And every part of me said, yeah, I do. Did God create me? Yeah, He did. Is this my temple? Yes, it is. Am I supposed to take care of it? Yes, I do. Because God didn't create me just to take up space on the planet, but God created me to try to help make a difference.
Yes.
And I can't make a difference if I'm bedridden or sick or what comes around goes around. If I'm out here preaching um, Burger King and all of this stuff, and Happy Meal, and I'm giving this stuff to my children so they'll never develop the way that they should. I'm not doing the world any justice at all. So when you learn something, God wants you to spread the news. There's a lot of bad news out there. The moment you turn on your TV or walk out your door, you're going to hear some negative stuff. But if you don't stay focused on who you are and grateful to your Creator, listen, when you do the right thing, good things happen. It just does. When you do the right thing, this I have not always been like this, but I really do believe in my lifestyle change. Parts of the old inside of me started working like God intended it to work.
Hey, Johnny, let me ask you this. What, how can someone go about having their own garden? How would they go about, how do they get started on having their own garden and growing fruit and vegetables in their field or in their yard, or how can they do that?
That's very easy. And let me say, first, it starts here in the mind. You got to have a desire. You got to want it. You got to have a why. When you got a why, something, then you're going to figure out how to do this. Whether you go and ask somebody and know how to do it, somebody that's been doing it for a long time to help you. But if say you want to grow tomatoes, then tomatoes carry this chemical called lycopene was so good for your body. Now everybody can't eat a tomato. People with arthritis, tomatoes seem to trigger that, you know. But there's so many other things. I mean, the leafy greens. Let me say this: for people that want to get started, if they're local, I'm your man. And you know what? I'll come by and help you get started. I'm not going to do everything for you, but I'm going to come by and help you get started. And you know what my cost is? Zero. I'm not going to charge you anything because God has blessed me with the love, the desire to want to do it. And I want to see the day when you can grow tomatoes and you can grow cucumbers and you can grow squash and so on. And we all network together and feed each other.
It's awesome. You know what? Because sometimes I think to myself, what if, just what if one day we can't go to the grocery store? Where are you going to get your food? How are you going to survive if you can't go to the grocery store? There's no food in the grocery store. So how are you going to survive? How are you going to maintain? Do you have any perishables?
Uber
You know,
Eats.
say who?
Uber Eats.
Uber.
I'm just playing.
Uber can't get it either. So then what are you going to do?
There won't be nothing for Uber to get.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, we got to have an alternative, a way that we're going to survive because that day may come sooner than you think.
I
We
know.
really don't know what happened when the other man gets in the office.
Hey, it can also happen. Hey, there could be some. I'm playing the devil's advocate here. I always say this when vegetarians or vegan get on me. I always say, so what happens if there's this mysterious plague and virus that kills all the edible plants in the world? You're gonna be screwed because I'm gonna eat this cow over here.
True. Then
For sure.
you have to worry about what are they feeding that cow.
Yeah, I know it's a terrible joke. I just do that to make fun of them.
My question is, Johnny, if when you're eating fruit and vegetables from a store,
Mhm.
what's the best way to clean your fruit and vegetables? How do we?
That's a good question.
I would put them in a bowl of water and put, oh my God, baking soda. Wash them in baking soda.
Mhm.
You know, wash them in baking soda, and that tends to clear off, clean off some of the chemicals. You know, listen, we got to eat with a prayer. No
Do
matter
you
what we eat, we got to eat with a prayer. But that doesn't mean don't take the necessary steps to try to clean what you're gonna eat. You know,
do you
those
recommend using like what do they have like those fruit brushes?
they do have them, yes. It can work. It can work. Anything that you try to do
Mhm.
to clean today is better. You got so many bottles of medication in that bag, and some people are over medicated.
So are you basically saying that mainly? So what I can hear you saying is that mainly, a lot of times you can help yourself out a whole lot by what you eat. A lot of times, what you're eating is not helping you in your body. And therefore, to break the system, to break the habit, to break the system, you have to eat better, because that will help you. That would keep, a lot of times, what's so interesting, just like, perhaps, like we were saying, if you eat a lot of sweets and you get diabetes, well, if you stop eating a lot of sweets and stuff, you can help yourself. Maybe some stuff can be reversed. So I see what you're saying in that sense. That a lot of things can be reversed. We have to be mindful of what we're eating, and you know instead of going to the doctor all the time, maybe that's got a lot to do with what you're eating. You need to, and So it's very important to kind of like monitor what you eat. You know, you can't just do whatever you want to do with food and expect to remain healthy. You know, some countries, like you say, don't eat a lot of stuff that we eat. So we need to be mindful of what we're eating, you know, because sometimes it's not always us, sometimes it's in the food that we eat that is not good for us. I can see what you're saying.
You know, I I thank God for this day and time because they made a mistake when they created the smartphone. Because if you're a dummy today and you got a smartphone, that was your choice. You want to be a dummy, because you can Google any information that you want today. You know, to where that you will be in the know. How many of us don't want to be in the know? We don't want to change what we're doing because we like what we're doing. We don't understand that we were meant to think the way that we think. We need to come up out of that. We need to first love God and love your brother and your sister.
And on that note, I got a question to ask you. So somebody says, is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
It's a fruit.
A fruit. Okay. And during this time that we're living in and this, this season, what are the best things to grow in this season that will grow?
Season now that it's cold, you can still grow spinach. You can grow cauliflower. You can grow cabbage. Most of your leafy greens you can grow now. And let me tell you why. Because you can actually grow them all through the year. But let me tell you why it's good to grow them now. First of all, they're cold resistant. They can handle low temperatures. And then something about the cold, the insects aren't there as much as they are in the summer. People like they would grow cabbage and collard. It got all these holes in them. The bugs are eating it up. I was so upset one day, and my collards were looking so good. And then not even 2 days later, I come back and man, I got half of the stuff is all eaten up with bugs, and I can't eat that. I mean, some people do. They wash it off and eat it, but I don't
Wow.
share my food like that. You know, so this time of the year, if you're going to grow brassicas like the stuff that I just mentioned, um, this is the time of the year to do it.
And also, do you sell any of your food in the community? How do you pour back into the community your harvest? Do you sell your produce?
That's a good question. I like doing what I do so much. For the last 4 or 5 years, I would just give it away. I would give it away. And then when I saw how selfish people are, they want you to bring it to their house. Is it already cold? Could you cook it for me? I
What?
mean, yes. And that might sound ridiculous because it is. You know, people aren't grateful um, when somebody try to do a good gesture. I'm gonna tell you, I got fruit trees in my yard. I got some beautiful blueberries. And blueberries is a fruit that we need to eat if we can every day because of the antioxidants and flavonoids that's in it that help kill free radicals in your body. We all got it. We all got good bacteria and bad bacteria. Now, I don't want to sound like no doctor, because I'm not nowhere near it. But I do research certain things. The blueberry trees, I got apple trees, peach trees, plum trees, and I actually got to knock it off the tree, pick a basket of it, and give it to people. I tell them, come and get it. You can have it. I just don't want to pick it for you. And a lot of it go bad.
And what is the hardest fruit or vegetable to grow
The
to
hardest you
you?
can. If you say hardest,
Yes.
okay, I would think um,
For
dry.
this location. No, for this location.
I can only speak about my experience. I had bad experience with spinach. You know, and that comes from me not knowing. You know, not knowing the proper way to do it. If you ever watch a single spinach plant grow, it looks like it's nothing. You know, it looks like, okay, I'm gonna get about 3 or 4 inches, and then I'm gonna look like I'm dying. You know, I think they need to be grown bunched together in order to look like you got something. You know how they say, well, you space things out. I don't think you don't space that out. But let me tell you some good stuff that we should have. I'm gonna tell you something. That I got a little list of things here for good kidney health. This is stuff that we need to know. Okay? Now, for your kidneys, let me say the first thing is some water. You know, don't dehydrate yourself. Your kidney needs the water to continue to function. Cabbage is a good thing for kidney health. And I'm not going to go into the health benefit of all of them, but these are the things that we should at least have 3 to 4 times a week. Okay, you don't have to have all of them, even if you just have one of them. I said cabbage, red bell peppers, okay, cauliflower, and broccoli. All of these things help kidney function.
Well,
All the leafy greens, garlic is another good thing for kidney function. Asparagus. Now let me show you. I'm gonna have to stop for 1 minute because I do a lot of things on asparagus. I guess you can see this. This is asparagus, right? Now, there's ways to cook this, and you try not to overcook it, but asparagus is really good for kidney function. Now, if you get it in abundance, or say you got a lot of it like this in your refrigerator, if you know how to dehydrate things in your oven, dehydrate it, turn it into this.
that's amazing.
This is asparagus powder. Now I can take
Wow.
this and make gravy, and I can make a smoothie. The key thing is to get it in your body, right? I don't I don't throw anything away, and anything that looks like it got to be thrown away, I throw it in my compost pile that adds nutrients to my soil to help my new plants thrive.
Johnny, this is so good. We're almost out of time. How do
Oh,
we find you? How does somebody get up with you? How do we get up with you if someone want to find you? Get some more information.
well, I can put my number down. I would prefer people that want information to text me because I don't answer numbers that I don't know. But I love to give out information. And my phone number is 252-565-6076. Just text me with your question, and if I don't know the answer, I will find you.
Well, Johnny, I thank you so very much for coming on the show. We really appreciated you. Had so much fun learning about fruits and vegetables. We thank you so very much.
But let me just say this one thing, and Mr. Ray Watt will tell you I like to talk. But things that people should have in their house. They should have a juicer. They should have a dehydrator. And they should have an air fryer. Okay? Because we want to get away from the grease. We got to get away from the grease. We don't know what kind of grease that the chicken places are, or what kind of grease they're using. We don't know how often that they're changing it. But I'm sure they're not going to go with the expensive grease because they're in the business of making money. So we got to try to get away from that grease. I thought lard was out of the equation, but there are still people that cook with lard. You
Really?
know, yeah. I mean, so my quest is to teach, is to get out and teach. I'm trying to build a community of like-minded people that wants to do the same thing. And let me say this stuff. I'm not trying to. I'm going to.
That's all right.
Yeah. That's
That
what
is all right. And we just want to say thank you. You are so special to come on the show today. It means a lot. You gave us so much information. And thank you so very much for coming. For you all out there, we really appreciate you for coming today. And we want you to have a wonderful day. Please keep the people in California in prayer, please, because they need prayer and we need people to respond to their need. You know what? You have a great day, and above all things, as this year progresses on, don't forget to eat healthy and maybe even start your own garden. Who knows? Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful day, and
I'm
thank
going
you.
to shout out to Brainwalk Radio. I got
Raymart, yes. And also you can find Johnny Noel on the Raymart radio show. All right.
that. That's my family. Thank you. Kiani, stay strong.
Thank you.